At my husband Daniel Carter's funeral, under the gray sky of a quiet Connecticut cemetery where old oak trees whispered like witnesses, I stood dressed in black beside a closed mahogany casket, my face calm while my heart felt hollow rather than broken, because grief had already finished its work months earlier when I learned the truth, and as the priest concluded his prayers and mourners murmured polite condolences, a sharply dressed lawyer stepped forward and cleared his throat, announcing that Daniel had left a will to be read immediately due to special circumstances, and in that moment I felt the air shift, because from the corner of my eye I saw her, Lena, standing confidently near the front, dressed not like a mourner but like a victor, and when the lawyer announced that the mistress would inherit everything, the house, the businesses, the accounts, even the trust meant for our future grandchildren, a wave of gasps rippled through the crowd. Yet what hurt more than the betrayal was when my own son, Michael, stepped away from me, walked straight to Lena, hugged her tightly, and whispered "Mom" into her shoulder. And I smiled then, a small controlled smile that confused everyone, because no one there knew that Daniel's lies had been layered and clumsy, that months ago while pretending to travel for business, he had suffered a stroke in a cheap motel in Ohio, and it was I, not Lena, not Michael, who found him, who signed the hospital papers, who listened as he confessed everything between shallow breaths, admitting that Lena had manipulated him, that Michael had been turned against me slowly with money and poison words, that the will being read today was forged under pressure, and that the real will had been drafted years earlier after his first affair, locked away safely where greed could not reach it. And as the lawyer finished reading the false will and Lena dabbed her dry eyes for show, I stepped forward at last, my heels sinking slightly into the damp earth, and calmly said, "That is not my husband's final will," causing confusion to spread like wildfire, because the lawyer stiffened, Lena's smile cracked, and Michael's face went pale, and I reached into my handbag and removed a sealed envelope, yellowed with time, bearing the unmistakable signature of a senior federal judge who had notarized it, and I explained, slowly and clearly, that Daniel had filed this will with a private legal registry years ago after discovering Lena's first attempt to drain his assets, that the will named me as executor, and that every dollar, every property, and every company would be placed into a trust controlled solely by me, with strict conditions stating that any beneficiary who participated in fraud, coercion, or emotional manipulation would be permanently disinherited. And as the lawyer read the real will aloud with shaking hands, the truth unfolded brutally. Lena would receive nothing. Michael's inheritance was suspended pending investigation, and the businesses were already transferred into an irrevocable trust the night Daniel died. And in that moment Lena screamed. Michael collapsed his knees, and I finally allowed myself to feel something close to peace, because revenge had not required shouting or tears, only patience, foresight, and silence. And as the mourners left whispering behind me and the casket was lowered into the ground, I leaned down and whispered goodbye to the man who betrayed me, knowing that in the end, the only thing he failed to take from me was my power.